Okay, and welcome back to more Digimon Digital World Tabletop. We are playing the Surveyors of the Digital World campaign, the Solid State Glacier, and y'all have gotten yourselves into a bit of a situation at the moment. Let's recap. While exploring the Solid State Glacier, you had an encounter which led to association with a certain type of metal that you have since learned is used to basically enslave Digimon and drive them to fight. Inumon consumed a piece of that metal, and then the next time Inumon digivolved, it corrupted its form, and through the connection to its Digivice, the Digivice that Zen was holding as well. Zen was then affected in turn by the Digivice, which has caused her to gain some circuit patterns on both hands. You guys, in the last session, were escorted to the Snowhearth village, where you were able to rest a bit, and its leader, Digimon, advised you to seek a spring in the forest to the west of the village, where Digimon that were bound by this armor go to calm themselves down and try and get control back of their heads. You guys are just heading out on that journey now. Chiyoko was carrying the corrupted Digivice, and just at the end of the last session discovered that, it's started to affect her right hand as well. Just before we kick off, I want to say that Bridget is unavailable today, so Maddie is taking care of Zen, and I'm looking after Bergamon. All right. You guys are just come to the entrance of the woods. A path from the village has led up to these snowy woods. Trees line this path that winds through it, all thick with fallen snow. A cold wind is blowing down through the path and washing over you, and it's chilling all of you. But Chiyoko, you're not so much noticing the cold because your right hand is not burning hot, but it's very warm. The glove from it kind of just decayed and fell away, and you're noticing that your right hand has this golden circuit pattern that's weaved over it now.
Oh dear.
I just want to confirm one thing, because I just want to... Wasn't Chiyoko carrying the corrupted stick from the Digimon?
Yeah, you've got that in your left hand as well.
We have fun here.
I remember that the last thing that happened is that Clive said fuck, and everyone got very upset about that. I don't actually remember what Clive said fuck about. I think it was probably the circuit pattern.
Yeah, it's the circuit pattern.
That would make sense.
Okay, Chiyoko, okay, that looks bad. That's not good.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely not. Oh dear. I thought perhaps I would be immune from this due to not being a digital being, but I suppose that's not the case at all, is it?
No, I guess not.
Oh dear. We'd best make haste towards this place that Gigi told us about.
Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go. And Clive is kind of pushing through the snow, inching forward.
All right. There is a path ahead. It's got a layer of snow on it, but not nearly as deep as the surroundings. So there's a direct path you can walk. Derek is way ahead right now because Zen kind of menaced him with the circuit pattern on her hands, and Derek used his major aspect to leave extremely quickly.
Yeah, Galmon's chasing after, of course.
Yep. So Derek and Galmon are ahead and probably haven't noticed Chiyoko's got this going on at the moment. Let's make a line of how you guys are moving. So Derek and Galmon are ahead. Who's directly behind or who's approaching?
I think Clive is trying to hustle.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
gotta go.
Clive's pulling ahead. Chiyoko is probably following behind Clive then?
Yep.
All right.
I think Clive is kind of just, when you throw a corgi into the snow? I think that's what it looks like, but every few steps he stops and turns around and looks for Chiyoko before continuing.
All right. Shoko, you're still holding the Digivice and stuff as you're going?
Yeah, well, definitely the Digivice.
All right.
We need to fix that for sure.
Okay. Eleanor, Bakumon, how are you two doing?
I think Eleanor is confused at this point. I think the circuit pattern stuff is so out of her league. So she doesn't really have much to contribute right now.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think Bakuman gets it either. I mean, he doesn't really get much of anything.
I may not know much. Bottom text.
He's not here to do the smart things. He's here to show off and be
All right.
cool.
So is Eleanor just like walking quietly behind them?
Yeah.
All right. Stella, how are you doing?
I don't know. She'll probably just sort of like kind of just hang around sort of back here like she does.
All right. Bergamon's probably a little nervous, but also trying to be supportive and just like prepping another slider to hand out to the first person who looks like they need a slider.
That will be Stella.
Yeah. Needs the protein.
The big city Stella slider.
All right.
Big City Stellar.
So Chibinamon is still like in its training stage and kind of just wrapped in those circuit patterns more than either Zen or Chioko's hands. Well, only one of Chioko's hands, but both of Zen's. It's just asleep as Zen's carrying it. Zen has been very calm about this mostly. They've just been mostly curious and interested. So I think Zen's just following behind. But Bridget also mentioned that without their Digivice as like a grounding point, Zen's also a little clammed up and quiet.
A little fidgety, I would imagine.
Mm.
Right. Yeah.
So
So
I think Zen's following, but Zen is also not offering much at the moment.
Yeah, just sort of hanging out near the back, keeping an eye out, but not a whole lot to offer.
All right, let's go on an ice forest. Have a theme. Okay, so the forest is well pathed to begin with. There's trees everywhere, but there's a pretty well-defined route that leads through them all, so you're able to walk without too much trouble. But as you're going along, this cold wind that's whipping through the trees picks up more and more. And after a moment, there's this big strong wind, and it blows, and these pine needles go flying through the air, but they're so frosted that they're actually quite sharp. And this is a difficult situation for you guys to progress from, in that the wind is picking up more, but it seems to be inconsistent in the direction it blows. But each time it does blow, there's more of these cold needles flying through the air. What do you guys do to push through this?
I don't think there's a whole lot Clive can do. I think he's probably pretty frustrated. He can't digivolve because the Digivice is being used as collateral.
Yep.
Yep.
And he can't sort of be in Chiyoko's jacket because she's all infected.
That would be bad.
So I think he's just stubbornly walking, keeping going, and trying to ignore it best he can, which is not good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if the wind was coming from one direction at once, perhaps we could get some of the larger Digimon to be windbreaks. But since it's coming from so many different angles, it's difficult to try and plan around that.
I think Eleanor would be doing her best to give out whatever gloves she has left, and is also sort of I mean, she's older. Her skin's kind of like tissue paper. So she's a little bit, she's putting on a brave face, but she's not doing great, I feel like. I think she's got ski goggles, though, so she's got those on her face.
Bakuman kind of like nudges Eleanor, like, should I digivolve?
That would be much appreciated, dear.
Yeah, okay. Bakuman's gonna digivolve.
All right, let me go fetch Bullmon for you. All right, Bakumon scales up to Bullmon. Are you gonna give Eleanor a ride?
I think Eleanor's gonna clamber on and sort of
All right.
hunker down.
Hide under the cape.
Yep.
Keep
Aren't
nice
you
and
glad I
cozy.
did this for you, dear?
He's like, secretly like, at the moment he's a little glad actually, but he's not gonna say that.
Of course he wouldn't.
Bergamon's gonna check in with Stella whether they should digivolve as well and try and provide some heat.
She kind of nods, like, yeah, that might be a good idea.
So Bergamon sizes up to Pyro Bergamon and just starts walking along and like trying to put the heat up. It helps, but also Pyro Bergamon and Stella both know that this will only last so long before like maintaining this wears Pyro Bergamon out. So
Yeah.
Chioko's gonna look down at Clive and be like, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'm fine. I'm fine.
All right.
I mean, Derek's gonna do the one thing that a human can do in this situation, like close up hood, like face hole and stuff like that. And lean over to Galmon and be like, "Go pick up Clive." He's
Oh, yeah, I got it. I got it. He'll go back and scoop Clive up. He's
Galmon
got you.
sits Clive on his head.
Yeah. Pretty
Clive
much.
is subtly just trying to get some of that good headscarf warmth.
Yeah.
I figured Galmon's hot-blooded and heat right escapes from the head. It's perfect.
It's it. This is the perfect arrangement. He's got a cozy hat now.
So you guys are doing your best to push through, but it's still a rough situation at the moment. Eleanor's kind of being sheltered by Bullmon as best she can be, and Stella and Pyro Bergamon have this warmth around them. Is anyone else sticking close to Pyro Bergamon?
Chiyoko would, but she doesn't want to get too close to anyone right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, not in this case.
I think Zen would just walk right behind Pyro Bergamon, though.
Yeah, I would agree.
Zen's carrying Chibinomon. So Clive is with the Galmon. Derek is forging ahead. Chioko's kind of keeping apart from the group a little. And Bullmon's covering Eleanor, and Pyro Bergamon's giving these guys heat. So for Derek, Galmon, Clive, Bullmon, and Chioko, you guys are all still exposed to this elements. So at the moment, each of you is going to take a wound box of damage.
Okay.
I think I'm full up right now, but that's still,
Chiyoko takes a wound box.
not the greatest, but...
And Bullmon, 1. Okay, so it was you 5. All right. With all this wind shifting, though, the tree branches, as you move ahead, are starting to shake more, and you're hearing snow dislodge and fall from tree branches, and sometimes there's even the creaking of wood. It sounds like, at the moment in here, as the storm blows through, it carries a lot of these pine needles, but it's not like the most intense of storms. It's more like the pine needles are being blown at a great force, and then By the time they cross here, they've lost most of it. But as you're going in, there's more and more snow in the air, and visibility is starting to collapse as well. The trees are providing as much of a bulwark as they can, but it also appears as if a blizzard has whipped up over the entire stretch of the forest as well. Is there a way any of you have to provide better support to the party pushing through, or in general, reduce the situation you're in?
I don't think so.
Well, Inumon could get big and block the wind, but both unconscious and probably a bad idea based on the last digivolving he did.
We're done well fucked, huh?
Maybe just a bit.
It's not an ideal situation to be in. Rugged up and pushing forward, you guys are continuing on, but the situation is not the best elementally. Derek, you're taking the lead, right?
Yep.
All right. I'd like you to make a survival check.
What is that again? Roll 3d6 plus something, right?
Yeah, intelligence plus survival.
Intelligence.
So
damn.
3d6 plus 10.
Listen. I'ma live forever, haha.
All right. Derek is taking point in trying to keep everyone moving together and not separated. Probably you're all a little closer together now, even Shioko at the moment, just because visibility is collapsing a little. With you all bunching up more, it's possible for you guys to frame some of you from the others. Do you want to shift around so any of you are in the middle of the group? I think Pyrobergamon moves to the middle just so that the most people can be around it for warmth.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But rearrange you guys a little to just form a bit more of a tighter packed group for who's shielding who and who's standing where.
We are the cube now.
I mean, technically, Chibuinumon is in the exact same place as Zen, because carrying, so. And technically, Clive is in the same place as
You guys can all move yourselves around, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just go ahead and rearrange yourselves into a shape.
So, let's see, we want Pyrobergamon at the center.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have a lot of people just stacked on each other, so.
Yep, Galmon and Clive, Zen and Chibinomon, Bullmon and Eleanor.
So that's actually...
I can't drive Zen right now, so Taurus, I'll leave that to you.
Right. Yep.
So I guess just everyone clumping around Pyrobergamon.
Are you sticking with the pack specifically, Derek, or are you staying ahead?
Yeah, I guess I should be slightly ahead, but less ahead than I was earlier. Because it does a whole lot of good to be leading the pack, and then all of a sudden, the pack can't see me, and
yeah,
off goes the pack. So I'm only like
is anyone standing behind Derek? Because Pyrobergamon will move up if no one else is, but if no one else is standing behind Derek, this is a chance for someone to get kind of protection from the elements. Like if Chioko moved over, Stella could.
Stella can kind of... She's probably like the biggest out of all the humans here, right? She can kind of like meat shield a bit.
Depends if Chioko... Is it in Chioko's nature to try and get in the middle of the pack so to be less exposed?
Normally, but she's still a little wary about like crowding around too many people right now because of her hand.
So, despite the cold and situation, Chioko's still trying to keep to the outside?
Yeah, she'll stay still close, but she'll be on the outside of the shape.
All right. Where's Galmon in this? Where you've placed them, or with Derek?
With Derek under where Clive is.
All right. Pyrobogamon's going to move up, and Zen is going to move up with them. So this provides basically the best order of warmth to you guys. But at the sides, Zen and Pyrobogamon are pretty insulated, but as the wind's whipping around, you 5 on the outside are still exposed to the elements. The Digimon are fine in this situation. Derek, Shoko, and Stella are just like endurance checks from you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Endurance
boy,
is
okay.
body plus
Body
endurance.
plus endurance,
Okay.
which is the same as your health stat.
Yeah, that's 3 ones on 6 rolls so far.
Hmm.
I guess if you want to do the group one, that's...
Oh, sorry, that should have been 3d6. So you roll 2
Yeah.
more d6. 12.
All right. Each of you is marking 1 more wound box, just from general like exhaustion and cold and such.
I see.
It's a rough environmental situation you guys are fording at the moment.
Yeah. Oh boy.
This is an intense situation you're pushing through at the moment, but you guys set your minds to it and keep going. The wind breaks after a little while. You notice that the trees are denser here, which has evened things up, and you're able to travel for a little more in a calmer situation. Pyrobogamon takes this time to get everyone, tries to ask everyone to stop so that they can serve out some food to warm up everyone.
Oh, thank goodness.
So you
Thank
guys,
you.
you guys take a rest break as Pyrobogamon basically use up the last of their current like Digivolution. They're going to run down after this, but they're also going to run a Slam and Sliders out to the group.
Thank
So
you.
that is each of you gains some shielding, 6 temporary wound boxes.
Oh, thank goodness. I say this time out of character because I had 1 wound box left.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Okay,
So
so
fragile.
for the effect of this in travel. Oh, Stella, was that your first check of today?
What? Sorry?
That endurance check you made before, that was your first of today, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, just got to make a note. You had a -6 to that because of your last failed torment roll, but that's been used up now.
Okay.
So actually,
The
that was the perfect
rule I'm
roll to
working
get
with
those
is when
ones
you
on.
fail. Sorry, Andy, what were you saying?
Oh, so that was actually the perfect roll to get those ones on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was already terrible.
Get it out of the way.
Essentially, the rule with torment checks is when you fail one, the amount you fail it by is subtracted from your next skill check. So I'll just be keeping track of that. Okay, so everyone has 6 wound boxes. But while you're traveling, wound boxes generally only last until the end of combat. Bergamon put this up on you guys and is basically sustaining it, and that's the reason their form runs out soon enough. But I'm basically going to give you the 6 now, and basically for the next little while, they will slowly tick down as you guys are traveling forward.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright.
Yep.
If Bergamon is de-digivolved, Stella's gonna pick him up.
All right. The Digivolution comes during the travel as Bergamon's like, or Pyrobogamon to start with is maintaining the shield strength. And I won't get rid of Pyrobogamon yet because Pyrobogamon will disappear when the shield runs out for everyone.
Alright.
But with this shielding provided to you guys are able to start traveling much faster through the... Well, not specifically faster, but more confidently, because there's this kind of energy about you guys that is providing some reassurance against the elements. This isn't a thing Pyrobogamon can do consistently, though, which is why it only came up now that things are getting a little rough. But it's thanks to this that you guys are able to make further travel into the forest. As it evens out, there is one last issue, though, which is that there's a point where the trees thin some more, and there's this gap before the next batch of trees. It's about 30 to 50 meters of open plains. There's no wind rushing through it and such, but there's a threatening aura ahead of you because the batch of trees that stretches ahead of you look to be either made of ice or completely frozen solid. So you guys have come to the end of this path, and you're staring out at this open space, like a gap in the tree line that leads, like two forests which are separated by a gap of empty space. But the next forest over is either frozen solid or literally made of ice.
Huh.
You guys are down to about 2 wound boxes remaining for your temporary wound boxes. But because of what you had so far, you were able to push through the cold environment and keep moving forward. What do you do in this situation?
So we were told there was, I forget what were we told about, like, a thing to uncorrupt stuff?
If you follow the forest path, you'll eventually come to a lake of water within the, not a lake so much, a pool of water within the forest that apparently helps Digimon that have had these issues before.
Can we see a path in the ice version of the forest?
You guys have been following a path so far. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. What is that again? Let's see. Perception. That's willpower?
Yep.
That's not very good. I mean, it's not terrible. 3d6. Willpower plus perception. Boom.
You've been pretty confident you've been following a path so far just because of the way the tree line works. But now that you've come to this, you've got a pretty sheer sheet of snow ahead of you right now, which is making it difficult. Like, the path feels like it comes to a stop here, and you're looking over to where the frozen trees are ahead to see if you can spot a path continuing between them. But from this point here, you're not exactly sure whether you can see anything.
Well, shit. I mean, just going out blindly seems like a terrible idea. Anybody else on this?
I didn't roll much higher, unfortunately, so I don't think I can help.
Eleanor doesn't have that much of a height advantage right now, but could you look around and see anything?
If you want to make a perception check for Eleanor, sure.
Sure. So that's 3d6, and that's going to be willpower and perception?
Yep.
Cool. Let me just grab those numbers right quick. So 6 and 3. All right, cool. Oh, fuck yeah.
Craning her neck a little and looking over, Eleanor, you get the feeling that part of the tree line pretty much directly ahead, you think you can see like a continuing path winding through that. Not so much anything on the ground, but just like you can see what looks like a straight line through the trees that moves forward.
I think she sort of pops up from under Beaumont's cape and sort of just points towards the general like line of trees. The trees seem to be having a good distance apart from each other, like there's some kind of path here. Let's try maybe going that way. I mean, we have nothing to lose, I don't think.
All right. That sounds good to me.
Beaumont, do you see it?
Does he see it?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, here,
He's just kind of
Bulmon,
like, sure.
bring me up
One will
next.
never say they can't do anything.
Bring me up next to Derek, please, dear.
All right.
Just gonna go over there, and I guess we'll lead the charge through wherever Eleanor's seeing.
All right. So you guys just crossing forward over this empty space between this forest and what looks like the frozen forest?
Yeah. Right now, I
Yep.
think Zen is wishing that she had her Digivice, but can't do anything.
Only I could
Right,
hack the weather.
I mean, she doesn't have her Digivice, so I don't think she can hack the weather.
Well, she's got a computer.
Oh, yeah.
But the weather is kind of
I'm
nebulous.
not sure if Zen's messing with her computer or not because of the infection. I'm actually not sure what her choice on that would be.
Yeah.
I feel like right now she's just like rolling with things and not being forward in anything.
Yeah.
All right. Pushing forward across the snow, it's much bitterly colder outside of the forest. Like, you didn't realize how much the trees were shielding you from the just pure cold of the air until you're out here, and it is nasty. You guys all have clothing and such for the cold. Shoko, if you took any of the gloves that Eleanor was handing out, did you take, when Eleanor was handing out gloves to everyone before, did you take any? Or
Yes. Yeah.
So you put it on your hands for a while, but it was after a while you looked down and you just noticed that the material that had been around your hands seemed to have decayed away as well.
Oh boy.
But
right.
your hand still is staying warm, and you notice that it's your right hand only. Like, your left hand, which has been carrying this staff, the staff has these circuit patterns winding down around it, but it doesn't appear to have crossed over into your hand.
Okay, it's just
So your
the
left
right
hand is holding the staff, okay. The right hand, the glove isn't it can't keep covered by anything, but if you check at any point, you notice these patterns don't seem to be winding up any further than you. They're concentrated around your hand right now.
Okay, that's good. It's good to know that they're not rapidly spreading or anything.
Zen has both her hands probably like in her coat pockets or something because gloves aren't working for her either.
Are they not buried in Inumon's fur?
Could be. That's true. Zen's carrying Chibi Inumon as well. Zen's just supporting this basketball of warmth and love.
That's good.
Aww,
We love a basketball.
we do.
All right. Pushing forward, but the chill of pushing through here is about enough to wear down Pyrobergamon. And when Pyrobergamon runs out, the temporary wound boxes shielding you all run out as well. I don't have a specific ice forest map we can use in this place, but as you cross through the threshold of the ice, who's the first pushing through?
I think it's Bulmon, since
Yeah,
Bulmon.
I would second that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
Sure.
Eleanor, are you keeping like a lookout as Bullmorn's pushing ahead?
Yeah.
As you guys are crossing over into the ice forest, one thing catches your eye. You turn up just in time and manage to spot what looks like a tiny little white snowbird flicker off of one of the frozen branches through the ice trees and just disappear from sight. It stands out to you because this is the only movement that you saw. In the forest, there was always this kind of like soft movement to the trees, the wood. There's a amount of like nature and life. Even if you weren't seeing any Digimon or such, there were just a general movement. But as you enter this frozen forest, everything is still. There's no air, there's no wind, there's no falling snow. It's just nothing, no movement whatsoever. It is the stillest there can be. And that's why the sudden movement of this thing flickering and flying off caught your attention.
I think Eleanor is gonna like fumble with her Digivice and try to scan it. It's not really her strong point, but she figures if she saw it, she might as well like give it a shot.
I think it moved pretty much as you saw it because it moved, and it's gone before I think you can get your Digivice up for this.
Okay, so it was like a white bird-like thing?
Yes, but it also struck you as kind of odd because it was very small. It felt more like a normal bird that you would see than an actual anything like a Digimon. You haven't really noticed any Digimon that just like, this is a normal ass bird. But
Yeah. That thing
kind of what
doesn't
it
have
felt like.
cannon strapped to its butt.
But can.
She doesn't say that, but that's what she would say if she was in a better mood.
Hmm. Do you just note this? Do you report this to anyone, or do you just think about it?
I think she's going to keep it to herself from the time being. I feel like it's really freezing. She doesn't want to open a new can of worms.
All right. Traveling through the frozen forest is quiet. Anytime any of you speak up, you feel like your voice is echoing through the trees, like just your footsteps through the snow. The crunch almost rings in your ears from the sound of it. It's very off-putting in how silent this place is and how much even the slightest amount of noise kind of just breaks the silence for you.
Well, let's start an avalanche. No, I'm kidding.
Chioko's gonna start humming just because it's so quiet. It's kind of freaking her out.
Yep. But everyone else just in this weird situation you're in.
I think if Eleanor can recognize the song, she would hop in as well.
What's Chioko humming?
Just like maybe like Christmas carols because it's wintry.
That is cute.
Oh yeah, Eleanor is absolutely on board.
Eric, Stella, are you going to join in?
No.
Nobody can see it, but I think Zen is like quietly like tapping her fingers to the beat, but not saying anything.
Stella kind of, I think, very quietly joins in for a little bit. Can I roll Torment again?
Oh my
Sure.
god! What?
What's on your mind? Let me take a look at this. There's no place like home again?
Eagles singing Christmas carols.
Oh no!
I'm so
We've made
sorry.
Fair enough. 3d6 minus 1.
I believe in you.
12 or higher.
Santa believes. Oh.
I am sorry, I've cursed us all.
I think, Stella, you're carrying Bergamon now that they've de-digivolved, right?
Yeah.
I think Bergamon doesn't so much notice this because Bergamon's trying to pick up the tune, but they do not know it. There's kind of like every odd note they're trying to pick up and they're kicking their little feet as you're carrying them.
Oh.
It's probably like Stella's just wishing they were not here right now. All right. It's a quiet, extremely quiet journey, but something does come to your ears after maybe 10, 20 minutes sound, which is the sound of running water. It breaks through the silence of this frozen forest, and as you get closer and closer to it, you even see sometimes there are trees that are not ice, but actual just normal trees mixed in amongst them.
Oh,
And
that's a relief.
following the path, eventually it slopes down and leads towards an open stretch of an open area ringed by trees, but with just cold, mostly frozen over, but not completely, a lake of water in the middle of it. I'm going to move you guys over to my ice map.
Welcome to my twisted ice.
Iceman. Whoa.
most of it's frozen over, but you do see some parts of the ice that are still broken with what must be extremely cold water sticking out of it. As you guys are starting to descend the path and the trees open up to let you in, the people who are first in line of this notice that there's actually a flock of about 5 to 7 of these little white birds that are perched around the far side of the first major hole in the ice, drinking from it. And as the first people break through, they all flicker off through the air and disappear through the trees.
Now when you say flicker, do you mean like...
Just like very quick wing movements.
Oh,
Just
okay.
a kind of like a very fast moving bird.
Okay. Did anyone... Those can't be just normal birds, can they? Derek? You've seen birds?
I mean, they look like birds.
But we're in the digital world, they didn't have cannons strapped to their butts.
You think they might be regular birds and not Digimon?
But how?
That's a very good question.
Well, it's odd. Well, I'm just gonna... Bullmon, let's get a lay of the land. Can we like sort of circle around this little lake and sort of take a close look at what's here?
Sure. Are you specifically like trying to understand your environment or look?
I think she's trying to understand the environment. She's really confused about these fucking birds.
All right. So understanding the environment would be a survival.
All right. So that's what, intelligence and survival?
Yep.
All right. Six. And... that's not great survival. That's fine. Oh, hell yeah. It's not
Good
bad.
rolls though. Okay, so does Bullon just set off at a trot around so Eleanor can look at things?
Yeah.
All right. So Bullon and Eleanor are just kind of circling around the lake. Do you try the ice at all, or do you just circle around it?
I don't know if he's game to try.
Eleanor does not tell him to not do it because he will do it if she tells him to not do it. So she says nothing.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's like...
I love that. Okay.
Until Eleanor tells him not to do it, he's gonna not do it.
It's absolute toddler.
As you circle around, you do get a look out through the tree line. You can still see some of the like completely frozen trees. And after this travel, you've noticed that they're not made of ice specifically. These are trees that are completely frozen over. They are covered in ice down to the branch. It's unnerving. But all of the trees closest to this lake are normal. Like they're snow-laden, but they're still green beneath and have fine branches going on. The ice, you can see there's holes in the ice here and there are cracks that stretch out from those holes. But in the sections where there's no holes nearby, it looks astoundingly solid. There's light snow coating over the ice, but it seems to be unable to stick, and it just gets blown away as wind comes through. There's not much of any wind at the moment here, but it stands out to you that there's a region of snow set in the middle of this lake that's built up pretty high. You can't see much of anything about it, but you'd guess that maybe that's a little bit of land in the middle of this lake. You don't spot any of these birds further, but you also don't spot any signs of these birds. Like you don't see anything like feathers or footprints in snow or bird droppings or anything like that. There's no like proof that these are anything like real birds, besides the fact they looked oddly like real birds to you, but you don't see any evidence of them around here.
Okay.
You have a pretty good just general understanding of this area, that it's more lively than any other part of this frozen forest, but it's also still quiet. The ice looks solid far away from where there's these cracks, but where the ice is open, maybe it can't support any solid amount of weight.
Okay.
And you can report back to everyone that that's what you've seen. Does anyone else, once you've come down to this lake, want to do anything in specific?
Before we do that, it's just occurred to me that the completely frozen over trees, could that be a result of a Digimon's attack?
Maybe.
Cool. Cool. All right.
I will
Cool.
say it would have
All
been pretty wild if you just been like, "Yep, that's
Cool.
it. You solved the mystery."
It's cool.
All right. Huh. I want somebody to go take a water sample, but I don't think Eleanor, riding on Bullmon, would go near the water. I don't know if Zen really cares to do it without the Digivice.
Zen seems to be
Choco
mostly
could.
like wandering around waiting for instruction.
Okay.
Choco could go poke around the water.
I wouldn't touch anything with that hand of yours. But I do think that if she does do that, Clive would go with.
Baby boy.
So I'm just going to clarify one thing. This doesn't look like what we were supposed to be looking for as far as the like thing to drink from, does it?
Well, he did say it was like a lake, right?
I think
You were told that there was a pool of water within the forest, that if you follow the path, you will come to it, and that Digimon that were afflicted by the armor madness would come here to relieve the effects of it on them.
Okay, I'm going to try something. So, I just want to confirm. We have, like, thick winter stuff on, right?
Yep.
Okay, then now I'm in character, because my voice is the exact same as my character voice. Choco, let me borrow the stick.
Are you sure?
Kind
I
of.
suppose if you don't hold it for long, you should be all right.
I'm gonna go take the stick and dip it in the water and see if it keeps it. I mean,
Okay.
I'm gonna make my way to the ice, I guess, if I have to make like some kind of not slip and fall on my ass check first.
No, I'll just give you this. You're able to move up towards where the ice is.
Choco's gonna like creep over with you to observe.
Okay, so you've got the staff in hand. Yep.
Yeah. So I remember it had some of the
Some of the corruption
some of
on
the
it.
deals
So
on it.
when Zen tossed her Digivice at Digimon swatted the staff and knocked the Digivice to the ground and then dropped the staff. You could see that the circuit pattern is spread around the head of the staff and kind of wound down, spiraled down around its length as well, but it's densest covering at the top where it's kind of not only replaced the texture and coloring of the staff with just like this circuit pattern, the staff head is also kind of warped a little, and it's more like just a mass of shape than the specific pore shape it had before.
Okay, I'm gonna dunk that into the water, see if that does anything.
Okay, how are you dunking it? Like, you holding it and just sticking the head of it in, or are you just tossing the staff in the water?
Yeah,
or
I'm
what
just
are you doing?
holding it and dipping the top of it in.
Okay, so you plunge the head of the staff into the water, and immediately you can feel like a vibration through your hands, like the staff is shaking intensely. The water doesn't change any as you're holding the staff under it, but you just like feel this intense shaking to the wood. And eventually there's this loud crack as like the wood of the staff doesn't break completely, but like it cracks loudly, and you see it fragment a little in shape as you're holding it. But you also see that the circuit pattern on it is kind of just like come off of it, like it's projected off of it a little, and just fades away.
But it also broke the stick.
When you pull the staff out, you can see that the head of it is... It's not reformed to the original shape, so it's still kind of like a misshapen mass, but there's none of the circuit parts on it. So the dunking got rid of the corruption, but it also damaged the staff.
I assume you like your hand, Chioko.
Yes.
Maybe Clive sort of scuttles closer. He's like, maybe we could, I don't know, take a bunch of the water back with us and just do it not in the cold. So I feel like putting your hand in water and then taking it out into the cold might not be ideal.
Eleanor,
Yeah.
do you still have hand warmers? They're just kind
Of course. Echoing, of course.
Well, let's see. What kind of shape is the like gnarly head of the staff now?
It's kind of just rounded a little. Like originally it had this paw shape. It kind of looks like it all congealed together a little into this smaller orb.
So it's like a Master Roshi staff now.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. Except now it's also all
Melted.
So it was already all.
Zen has wandered up to the ice after observing this, and it's just like holding Chibinomon and looking between the staff and the ice and Chibinomon in her hands.
Are you gonna baptize your dog?
I don't know if Zen would try it on her own hands first or put it directly on Inumon.
Yeah, I'm not sure which is the answer to this either, which is the challenge for it.
Let's roll for it. That's what I think. Give me
Sure,
a-
Zen can be impulsive and difficult. I'm
Right.
gonna give them a bravery check. 3d6 plus 6.
All right.
Oh boy.
Also 17.
It's a 17. I'm still not sure how keen Zen is on getting into the situation specifically. She's thinking about it.
Maybe like dunk the Digivice in it? Or put like a drop on the Digivice and see what happens and then proceed from there so that we're not hurting our own hands or our dog.
True, Chioko, you're still holding the Digivice.
Yes.
Zen grabby hands for it.
Chioku will finally hand it back.
Alright, so Zen, Chibinomon, like, held under one arm, Digivice in the other arm. Has it in hand. What's Zen going to do with this Digivice?
I think like what kind of gear do we have like for like field research, I guess? Do we have anything that could the water?
You've got canteens that you could fill up with water.
All right, Zen's
Wait.
gonna fill one up and just gently.
I want to try something real quick.
Okay.
Can I just try dripping water from the end of the staff onto it, since it's already wet?
Oh, fair enough.
So
Interesting note as you swing the staff around, no water on its head.
Oh, well, never mind then.
All right.
And
Yeah.
now that you think about it, when you dunked the staff before, it felt like the surface of the water didn't actually get disturbed by it at all.
Ghost water.
Forbidden water.
Forbidden water. So Zen's gonna try to fill the canteen, but I'm curious to see if anything goes in.
All right, so you empty out the canteen's current water.
Yeah.
Okay, so you dunk the canteen in, and immediately it doesn't have a shake, but immediately there's this weight to it, this intensity to it that like almost pulls Zen's hand down. It doesn't pull it all the way in, but as you jerk your hand back, the canteen feels a lot heavier than it was before. But as you turn it upside down and like try to pour the water out, no water is coming out of it.
Huh.
It feels heavy.
Is there anything else visibly different about the canteen?
You take a look in it and shake it around a bit and like squeeze the canteen a little. It feels like it's full of ice.
Invisible ice. Huh.
Dope.
Huh. Can I put the Digivice just on top of the canteen and see what happens?
You
Make
set
a
the
little bit
Digivice.
of modern art.
You set the canteen down. You set the Digivice on the canteen. It's very modern art.
Okay. All right. She's gonna destroy her modern art and take the Digivice and like there's like a little like antenna on it, right? Like a little.
I don't know if there's an antenna specifically. I'm picturing it a bit like the Adventure 2 Digivice.
Oh, okay. Well, there's just a tiny little antenna on it, no?
That's true. Those do have little antennas.
All right, so she's gonna like gently dip the antenna in the water.
Immediately there is a feeling like an intense tug on Zen's hand as she dips the Digivice in it. Does she try to fight the tug or does she let go of the Digivice?
Let's let God decide.
Can she hold on? Dun, 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 dun.
What are you
So
rolling?
I don't know.
Well, and
Impulsive.
it's actual choice at this point. You need to make a choice.
All
Like, if
right.
you've got a split second to say either.
I think
I'm
she's gonna
holding on to
resist.
this and
She's
Okay.
gonna hold onto it.
make a feats of strength for Zen, which is 4.
All right.
3d6 plus 4.
Oh no.
It's pretty good though.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's pretty good. Nonetheless, Zen's right hand holding the Digivice kind of sinks beneath the water immediately. Make an endurance check for Zen. That's also a 3d6 plus 4.
Oh boy. Dear Bridget, I'm sorry I killed your character.
We're just gonna come back and Zen has no hands.
Oh no!
Zen immediately takes 1 wound box of damage.
Oh no.
There's probably a very sharp hiss from beneath the mask they're wearing.
Yeah.
As you can see their arm is shaking very hard as the water's still undisturbed, but like their arm is shaking as they manage to pull back and they stumble back.
Oh.
The device drops from their hand and Zen like falls on their butt. And their
Oh my gosh.
right arm is shaking very intensely.
Are you all right? Oh dear.
Very shaky
Joker's like-
thumbs up.
Choke is like fretting. They're like, she's like, I can't put my hand in there. That's a bad idea.
Very
Zen-
shaky thumbs up.
Kind of holds their hand up, very shaky thumbs up. Yep. But you do note that the circuit pattern around her right hand is gone.
All right.
Oh.
Missing any
Oh!
fingers?
Hmm?
Missing any fingers?
No, it's like there's no water or anything on their hand. Like their skin is dry, but also cold.
Oh, it worked.
The thing is, Eleanor like with the group at the moment, or is Eleanor still wandering around?
I think she'd have come back by now, especially watching Zen put her whole ass hand in the water.
I think it's time to offer Midden.
Yeah, she's gonna
Oh.
just do that.
Zen
So-
like Midden hand pocket pushing
Yeah.
against their side. What's Stella up to during all of this?
I don't
Tell me
know.
about Stella's thoughts. Like, just what's Stella thinking looking at all of this?
I don't think she entirely knows what to make of this. She doesn't trust the creepy ghost water, but it does seem effective. I think generally though she's just kind of like standing back a bit and just kind of watching this happen. But she kind of looks like if something like goes terribly wrong, like she's kind of expecting to happen at any second now. She will like jump in and do something.
Are you watching this specifically or keeping a watch out around you? Like, are you
No, I
keeping
think she's
watch
watching.
as this
I think
situation?
she's watching this happen. Like,
Okay, so Stella's got her eyes specifically on this.
yeah.
So
Chioko's
Derek,
thinking of
Chioko,
that.
and Zen are up here doing science.
Yeah.
Notably, Zen dropped her Digivice when she pulled back. The Digivice was originally like wrapped in a shell, a physical shell of this code stuff. It seems like the shell's broken away, but there's still some code markings on the Digivice itself. Whether that's as far as it can go, or if it just wasn't held under long enough.
Chioko will scoop it up and go and dunk it back in there, I guess.
How are you going to dunk it in there, Chioko?
Clive has a small heart attack.
Are you just going to go for it, or are you going to do something?
I'm trying to think if there's anything I can even do.
Be brave, Chioko.
Yeah, okay. Bravery, let's go. She's gonna go for it.
All right. This is going to be another endurance check. I will let you use your minor aspect on this, lion-hearted girl.
All right. Thank you.
So, endurance check plus. So, 3d6 plus 5.
3d6 plus 5. Oh!
Whoa! Very nice. 665. All right. Chioko, you grit your teeth, you stick it on it, you bear it. It's the coldest you've ever felt. This isn't like skin cold, this is bone cold. You're not even sure you have a hand right now. It's just the coldest that's ever been. But like, you full intensity do it, pull your hand back, no water dripping from it, no circuit pattern on your hand, no circuit pattern on the Digivice.
Chioko takes a look and then she holds it up like she's like holding up like a champion wrestling belt or something. Like, look!
You're feeling it. You are feeling like a champion.
We did it!
Zen's gonna dunk the dog.
Zen notes that her left hand still has the circuit pattern on it. The right hand cleansed, left hand still that. She grabs Chibinomon by the head. All right, Zen.
You're gonna roll
got
another
some
endure, I
glory.
guess.
Yeah, endurance for this.
3d6 plus 4, right?
Yep.
Okay. That's more like it.
What did you roll?
19.
Roll 19. All right. Zen grits and bears it a bit more, but is still unable to avoid taking one more wound box of damage.
Question, how many does Zen have?
Zen has 4 and is currently at 2 of 4.
Well, shit.
All right. Chibinomon, I'm going to say, probably has 3 wound boxes, so Chibinomon also just marks 1 wound box of damage. But after, like, a moment, Zen's kind of like shaky legs. I think someone actually needs to grab Zen and pull Zen back, because Zen's maybe the smallest help comes out of Zen, asking for someone to pull her back.
Stella will volunteer to
Stella's like, run.
do the grabbing and the pulling.
So Stella, like, in close enough to overhear and help hear this? I don't know how much of a distance Stella was keeping.
Okay, yeah, she might not have been close enough. She's probably standing like a couple of meters away.
Yeah, Derek and Chioko were on ground.
All right, I think Clive can... Eleanor's probably close enough. I think she has Bulmon scoot closer.
All right, what's Bulmon going to do?
I mean, he can't really do a lot of grabbing and pulling.
I mean, this is a situation where either Derek or Chioko could just grab the back of Zen's jacket and pull them back.
Sure, Chioko will do that. She's feeling on top of the world right now.
Yeah, Chioko just finished powering up.
Chioko grabs Zen, pulls Zen back. Zen, Chibinomon, fall back. Zen's left arm is like kind of just shaking. Zen in general is just shaking extremely cold. But Chibinomon is very awake. So, Andy, you're awake. The dog is not wet. The dog feels like it just got dunked in ice water. But the dog is awake.
The dog is awake.
Yeah, he's just like looking around like, what the... Like, he keeps instinctively doing that dog thing of like shaking to get the water off, but there's no water.
Yeah. Zen's breathing pretty heavy at the moment from that experience.
Chico's just like, are you alright? Is everything okay?
It kind of makes... well, it's just Maddie's set Jaegering at the moment. I'm helping, but Maddie's setting direction.
Zen's gonna shaky thumbs up. And is shivering a bunch. And I think that Eleanor's just gonna take her whole ass jacket off and give it to Zen. Because this woman has no sense of self-preservation. She's just gonna plop it across Zen's shoulders.
Can't spell Eleanor without Eleanor.
I think Zen just rugs up and pulls it tight around her.
I think Eleanor just slips off, like slides off of Bulmon and just sit up all the way to Zen's chin. Pulls the hood up, pulls the little string things to make the hood tighter.
Alright.
And
Zen is rugged up.
Yeah. And I think okay. Hold on, I'm gonna have Zen be on your back now, okay?
Alright.
Zen takes a moment to pick up Chibinomon and like zip jacket down, Chibinomon inside a jacket, zip jacket up again.
Yeah. And be on that bull.
Alright.
Alright, is that everything? Have we purified everything? Does anyone else have circuit patterns they are not aware of? Or are we good? Everyone look at your hands briefly, please. Okay, I'm good.
Do I need to make a check to look at my hands?
No. You guys just give yourselves a once over. It looks like the circuit pattern isn't affecting any of you at present.
Alright. Cool. Before we head out, I think Clive wants to go check out the island.
Alright.
So Clive's very small, very light. I don't think would disturb the ice. So Clive's going to go over there and take a good look around.
Alright, Clive goes for a wander around. Pacing this way and that, you notice that there's some frosted rocks here as well. That so there's actual rock here, and it feels like that you're on snow on ground, not snow on ice,
Okay.
which is something. But as Clive's wandering around, your foot kind of knocks something that stands out to you, and kind of knocking some snow away, you find that there is a whole ass plate of branded metal just beneath the snow.
Shit.
Hmm.
Clive scrambles off.
All right.
Are we infected?
Clive just scrambles off and looks himself over. Nothing seems to be different or changed or anything like that.
Chico's like, are you okay? What's over there?
Nothing, it's fine.
Okay. She's gonna like skitter across the ice.
It's all good, no, it's okay. Let's go back now. No, where are you going?
She's gonna like, now that she has hands that are not death, she's gonna pick them back up.
Oh, okay, this is fine. Okay.
And
Shit,
just
now
like,
I want to look at it.
can I see what's going on from where I'm standing?
Not from where you're standing, but you were watching as Clive was exploring. You saw Clive like take interest in something and then panic and run away.
Yeah. Just gonna kind of scoot a little closer to see if she could try and see what it is without getting too close.
There's a whole... Oh, okay, fine. Don't say it loud. Shh, listen. Shh. I think there's a whole plate of the metal under the snow over there. I'm fine. there's no circuits on me. Look. And Clive holds up his little feet.
Oh, okay. We should definitely not go anywhere near that, actually. I don't think any of us are large enough to eat it, but that doesn't matter because just touching it is bad, so let's go back to the others.
Have we tried scanning the metal before?
No, Eleanor still has a piece of it on you if you want to.
Oh, yeah. Maybe she should look at her bag and see if anything is super infected.
It's like when you open the lunch bag and it's just a bad peach that you forgot about it or something. Just
Yeah. What does the bag look like, Taurus? What's in the bag?
Eleanor checks her bag and everything's in its place, and there's just this one shard of metal she picked up from the Moosemon that's still just sitting in there.
All right, she takes one of the spare gloves and picks it up with the spare glove to not touch it.
Yep.
And she's gonna... I don't know if it's worth putting it in the water. She's gonna put it in the water. Fuck it.
All right, you're just dropping it in?
Yes.
water
All right.
corrupted.
There's
Now
a very
the water's corrupted.
There's an interesting situation here. Every time you interacted with the water before, it was like the water didn't react at all. When you drop this piece of metal in here, there's a big boop, and like you see droplets of the water fly up as the metal sinks beneath it, and there's ripples on the water as the metal disappears beneath it.
Oh, shit. Well, let's go.
Do we scan it? No. I'm thrown in the water. Like,
No.
there was a step missed there.
Seemed like the logical thing to do. I don't know.
Zen was moments away from asking for the shard of metal before it ended up in the water. It's like,
Oh. Now Zen's gonna scan the water with the metal in it, though, since it did a weird thing.
Zen, with the Digivice returned, is able to do things with it again. Still a little cold, but is able to take a general, Digivice check. So why don't you give a computer check for Zen? That's 3d6 plus 14.
Holy shit.
Zen has 7 intelligence and 7 computer.
Hell yeah.
All right. Zen sets out and just does a scan. There isn't specific details on the metal that she's able to pick up. That's not something that's been studied enough yet to record. But notably, with the quiet time to look around, Zen doesn't get a specific name or anything, but does get a pretty notable Digimon signature from right below that island in the middle of the lake.
Oh, now she's intrigued.
Well, she can be intrigued on top of Bullmon right now.
Yeah. I'm wondering if Zen would attempt to use horse signals with Bullmon, as in walk over there?
I think Zen would just volunteer Digimon over there.
Oh, okay. She does that.
Is it Clive?
Zen moves their arms slightly to point away from Clive towards the island more.
As I say, a straight line was towards Clive and Chioka, so I had to make sure.
We are the source of all evil in this world.
Well, I'm gonna go look at it.
All right.
Walking.
All right. So Derek is wandering over to the island, passes by Chiyoko and Clive returning.
Yep.
Or is Chiyoko standing out there being interested as well?
Yeah, Chioka's just kind of And then she sees Derek and she's
Derek.
hey, be careful about that. It's full of that metal stuff.
There's a Digimon here.
Oh. Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
So, I'm gonna look I don't think I actually was looking when Clive stumbled upon the thing. Is it pretty easy to find it, or?
Yeah, where Clive wiped it away, you can see that just so like there's snow coating it mostly, so you can't really see anything about the shape of it. You can just see there's a smooth plate of metal with a branded crest on it.
I'm gonna take out my Digivice for like probably the first time I come in and try scanning at the metal directly.
All right. You get a hit that this metal is part of a plating on a Digimon.
Real glad I didn't just poke it with my stick then, because that was my first thought.
It looks like there is a Digimon buried beneath the snow that's covered in these plates of metal, but you're not getting name or information about the Digimon. You're picking up that it's a sizable Digimon, and this metal plate is just a part of it that's buried beneath the snow.
We should probably not wake it up.
No, I'm just gonna ask Torus a question that is out of context, or out of character. Does Garrick know if any of the Digimon and stuff are actually like good at digicode stuff? Like, would any of them recognize what the crest means off the top of his head? I feel like Clive would be the best bet.
Clive's learned, but Clive's more learned about the human world than the Digimon world. I don't know.
I mean, Clive's traveled around, but I don't know. Like, I don't think he's ever been here before.
Like,
because like
wouldn't
mark
Galmon
any of
doesn't
these
seem like a good
Digimon
one.
as scholars. Clive would be the most likely to know anything about digicode, but I think Clive studies culture more than technology.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm still gonna scrape away some of the snow from the.
Do not ask Galmon questions because he's real dumb.
Oh yeah, is Galmon followed over?
Oh yes, sorry.
I feel like
Galmon's
Galmon's here as
totally
well.
right here. Zoop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel so.
The tension in Clive's body has increased tenfold.
If you're scraping away snow, Galmon's gonna use his little boxing mitts to help.
All right.
He's a dog. He's good at digging stuff out.
Wipe away more of the snow. You just find more of these shape. It's large. You can't actually get a good bead on the shape, but you're just finding more metal plates. And every so-and-so, one of these plates has a weird, kind of like a sun, but as if droplets are coming off of the sun shape on it.
This thing's real big, whatever the heck it is.
I'm just gonna take a wild guess here, Galmon. You have no idea what the symbol means, right?
Nope. Wait, no. It means the sun is raining.
Clive like snorts.
It's like when you have those when it's sunny, but it's also raining.
Florida?
Yeah, whatever a Florida is. I mean, I know what a Florida is, obviously.
Yeah, aren't they real shiny? Clive is fucking with them now.
Yeah, they're super shiny, just like this. This is a Florida.
Really shiny but not edible, very poisonous.
Yeah. You don't want to eat this. This is not edible. The Floridas are not edible.
Nope, they sure are.
It's just like trying really hard not to laugh.
Galmon, how would you eat this? It's bigger than you.
Don't give him ideas.
Give me a week and a half.
As you guys are standing out here, there is the sound of snow beginning to drop from trees as you guys feel a quake passing by beneath your feet.
Everyone off the ice. Clive is not fucking around. Clive is taking the authoritative voice. Everyone off the ice. Everyone off the ice. Now. Let's go.
Choco's just gonna like skitter over back to solid ground. Galmon's just like, oh god, the Florida's awake!
Alright, Choco and Derek, give me either a dodge, so agility plus dodge, or athletics, body plus athletics.
I think dodge is my better choice here.
Yeah, I think it is for both of you.
Yeah, I've got a negative to dodge right now because of Lionhearted.
Oh yeah.
But that's still 3D.
I mean, I would love to
6
take my
plus.
my major aspect again, but I did that very recently.
Yeah, you did that. It was a good joke.
But it would
So
definitely,
yours is
if it was available.
3d6 plus 8, Shioko?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
That'll be
Derek's
mine.
is 3d6 plus 11.
Listen, I can run away from things.
Yep, I respect that.
It would be a 30 if I hadn't already used my major aspect.
We're doing pretty all right in the running away department. I think. I'd like to believe.
Now the question here is though.
Oh, that was your 11. Wow, 636.
Yeah. Now the question here is though. I'm going to target this directly at Galmon. Do we run to the shore that's further away, or the island that's right next to us?
Probably the island that's right next to us.
So
I mean,
you guys are all running to the island?
Yeah, let's go on top of the Florida, I guess. It's closer.
listen,
Shioko, do you bail for the shore or do you bail for the island?
Island's closer. It's dangerous, but it is closer.
I will say you were holding Clive, I believe.
Yeah.
How's
Clive's
Clive?
teeth are clenched so tight that his bones are gonna break.
Chuck is like, I'm so sorry.
The tension is now very
Chioka's
big.
Chioka's like stroking his fur in a calming fashion, both for his sake and also her own, because being on the island makes her nervous, but she didn't feel confident enough about running across the lake while there's an earthquake happening.
All right, so the rest of you are able to stay on the shore just fine.
Mm-hmm.
You do note that after a few moments of this shaking, there are cracks spreading across the ice as parts of it break and shift, and some of it sinks beneath. Standing on this island here, you're able to wait it out as parts of the ice break and other parts of it stay fine. More of the ice is exposed to water now than before. But the shaking has stopped, and you guys managed kind of just a breath of relief before the sound of metal scraping against metal begins to echo out from beneath you.
Joker shrieks and Galmon's like, hurry!
Shioko, we gotta go! Shioko, we gotta go!
You to the hoe and we've gotta go. Yes, okay, what direction do we run to?
Just get off the island, Shioko!
Which direction has the least broken up ice?
Probably directly to the north is the best shot.
Okay, Chioko's gonna scoop up Clive and we are gonna run.
All right, Derek and Galmon, are you following after?
Yeah, we probably
Galmon
should.
looks like Galmon looks like he wants to fight the Florida, but we'll listen to whatever Derek's gonna do.
Derek's just gonna start running that direction and like tug on Galmon's like scarf headband thing on the way.
Yeah.
Give him a yank in the right direction to get trying. You know, like how you like old cars, you kind of need to get them pushed to get them running. It's like that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So we're all heading north.
I'm going to use your dodge rolls for this because your last ones were for making it all the way over here. Quickly staying on the island wasn't worth rolling.
Okay.
So you guys are charging forward. Derek, with your excellent roll, Shioko's mostly fine. Near the edge, you have some problems with the cracked ice beginning to shift under you, but Derek is able to run by and support you and get you guys both to the shore on this side as well.
Excellent. Oh, thank goodness. Thank you, Derek. That was close.
I'm just looking at the island at this point, just like.
Yeah, let's watch this island and see what happens.
As you're watching, the sound of cracking ice resumes, even though the ground isn't shaking anymore. Then the ground does shake some more as the island kind of dips beneath the water, and the ice breaks as this large serpentine tail just kind of wafts out of the ice and then disappears beneath it as you can spot through the cracked ice and water this dark, very large mass diving downwards out of sight, and the island just sinks beneath the water.
Oh my god, the Florida is huge.
Well, at least we didn't like throw in any of the corrupting metal, right? Like a few seconds ago or something.
About that.
Well, we didn't see it. You were
Yes.
you were
Wasn't
over
wait,
here.
we just saw that whatever it was, it had plates of metal on it, right?
I mean, I forget. Wasn't like the corrupting metal on the things like a specific color or something, or like it made them glow or some nonsense? I forget what it was.
When the armor-coated Digimon attacked, there was a red pulse around them, not like a circuit pattern specifically, just a kind of red glow to them.
Yeah, the island wasn't glowing. It's all good. We should probably go make our way towards everyone else, though.
All right.
Oh yes, I agree. We should circle around the edge of the lake and get back to the group.
Chiyoko, check the bottom of your boots. Make sure you're not
Oh
infected.
yes. Chiyoko's gonna like check one leg, then hop, 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 check the other leg.
You're doing fine.
Oh, Derek, show me your shoes.
Okay. Just like raises one foot.
Yep,
And then-
it's no worries.
Galbon, your paws. Okay.
All is well. You check over both of you, all four of you, no signs of infection on any of you.
Ah, excellent.
Oh, Chiyoko, that was really upset. That was scary.
Yes, it really was.
Those of you
All right.
on the eastern shore who are watching out over the ice and all of this, those of you paying attention can see that the water level has dropped, and some of the solid ice is still remaining at the same level. Some of the rest of the ice has begun to sink down.
Well, that seems fine. Everyone, I think we should go.
Yes, we can go back to the village and show Digimon that we're all fine now, and then we can maybe rest there for a while before we go off and help him with what he needed help with that the mine, right? That's what we were doing.
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have all regrouped together,
Mm-hmm.
and you are heading off again through the forest. As you're turning to leave, what stands out of note immediately is that the trees framing the path back, the ones which are not frozen, specifically one of the branches stretching over the path, is lined with about 10 of those white birds, little tiny white birds, which are just
Oh
looking
my
down at all of
gosh!
you.
Hi! Hello! Chiyoko's just like, oh my gosh! Little birdies! Those aren't Digimon, they're just little birdies! This is weird, but she's here for this.
Eleanor is gonna
She's gonna
do something that she is hoping she's wrong about and will probably be, because I can't imagine any reason for this actually being a thing. She's gonna take a picture of them.
Okay, I was just about to say that Chiyoko was also to take a picture. Because she's got a
All
camera
right.
too. We are one brain cell today.
Eleanor and Shoko snap quick pics. In the picture, you get most of them on the branch, but you also get some of them blurring as they're moving, as some of them flitter off back along the path and perch on the branches of trees further along the path.
Oh, they're so cute.
Okay, good. I thought this was gonna be some creepy BuzzFeed unsolved shit and then wouldn't show up in pictures. Really glad that that's not a thing.
Also, I'm just imagining them as these guys.
Oh!
There's a specific creature type I'm thinking of that's kind of like a cross between those and... Let me see if I can get a quick picture of. Tess, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the little fly guys from Hollow Knight. The mask flies. The ones that show up in Green Path.
Yep,
I know the.
gotcha.
So take these things, but like completely white, and not so much like the kind of like those heads on the bird bodies.
That's neat. I like that.
Okay. So you guys are free to set off following back along the path. You just do that?
Yes.
Okay. Traveling back along the path, pretty quickly it returns to the frozen trees instead of the greenery trees. And you notice that these birds, this time they're following overhead. Like they'll perch in branches along the way, and they're like always framing the path as you're walking along. As you're starting to get to where you think is where the break is before the regular forest, the birds kind of shift off. They don't make any sound, but they've shifted off, and they're perched on trees that lead through the tree line away from the path. And they're all watching you. They're perched, leading a path off of the path.
Now we can either make a very good idea or a very bad decision. Should we follow the birds or just go back? I have to admit I'm intrigued, but I'm also worried about Zen. Anyone? Any thoughts on this subject?
I mean, these birds are intriguing. I don't think I've ever seen anything like them. They don't seem to be Digimon, but they're definitely not normal birds.
Can we scan them now that they're closer?
Yeah, you pick up your Digivice and you hold it up. You're definitely detecting a digital signal from them, but not specifically a Digimon signal. Then again, you guys in the digital world also have digital signals. So like there's a small, they exist, like 100%. These things exist and are real as you can be in the digital world, but you're not getting like Digimon information from them.
Did somebody import birds?
Clive, did you import birds? That's not good for the finch population.
Do they even have finches here?
I'm not sure, dear. Anyway, we should probably head back to the village, but oh, this is so intriguing.
Yes, I must admit I am rather interested in these birds as well.
Clive, silently from inside of Chioko's jacket, we shouldn't follow the birds.
We shouldn't follow the birds?
No, we shouldn't.
Alright, we'll head back to the village. It'd be good for everyone to rest, and we can let everyone know of the good news and all of that.
Maybe the birds will still be there later. We can go check out the birds later. Let's
Just
not
you
die.
guys heading out. Stella, Derek, just tell me your thoughts. What's on your mind right now?
Stella's been freaking out for like a solid 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
After seeing the thing?
Yeah.
That's fair. And especially after that failed torment check before, Stella's not in a very strong and calm state of mind.
Oh.
I mean, Derek's fine with not following the birds. Like, following things in the digital world is almost, that, especially ones that don't talk to you actively, has never turned out well. Every time we've investigated something that we weren't told to go investigate, suddenly nonsense happened. So he's fine with it.
All right. You guys continue along following back this path. The birds follow as well, but they're not leading in front of you. Like, they're staying behind you now, drawing out a path along trees, but they're following you as well. Like, follow this, but you guys march forward. Eventually you come to the end of the ice forest where there's these open stretch of plains before the more regular forest. And as you're crossing over it, the birds all line up over the trees at the end, but they do not follow you as you cross over to the normal forest.
Bye, birds.
Farewell.
We'll be back later.
Chioko's gonna wave at the birds.
God, she's so precious.
They're through the regular forest. It's still cold like before, but whatever wind and blizzard was blowing before seems to have eased up, and you guys are able to make your journey back pretty well. But about 2/3 of the way along the journey, you feel those tremors again, and notable, you felt them now and again over the course of your time here in the Solid State Glacier. They feel not strong enough to cause problems yet, but they definitely feel more notable now than they were beforehand.
That's fine. Let's, maybe we can ask Digimon what is the deal with the tremors is.
Sounds like a plan.
And also return his staff. I feel like he might want that back.
Oh, yes, now that it's no longer horribly infected.
No, didn't he say he was just going to grab another stick?
I think so, but hey.
Derek's just using it as a walking stick at this point.
Returning to the entrance of the forest is where the path leads you out of the forest. It's a slight climb from where the forest starts to the top of this region, and then it's a downwards path towards the ice. As you reach the top of the path, looking out over the ice, you see something notable. It's far in the distance, but there is a shape breaking through the ice of the Sea of Stillness in the far distance. It's so far away, but also so incredibly large. This huge animalistic horned head and massive high-rising back is pushing through the ice step by step. And you guys can see this creature in the far distance making its way across the Sea of Stillness.
That's gotta be the thing they were talking about, right?
The thing?
Shoot, what was it called? I personally forgot, but I feel like Choco.
The Ancient.
The Ancient! I said it was coming over here next.
Maybe so. Maybe we should warn Digimon and the other villagers?
Yes, we've got to tell them, and then we have to go at the mines.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. You guys make your way back down to town, and while this quaking isn't as intense now, and maybe it's because this thing's out in the middle of the ice, it's hard to tell, but it's a rough situation. But as you come into town, you note that the Snowhearth village is completely abandoned.
Oh, they've already left.
Not good.
Checking around, you can find in the Digimon's house where you were invited before, there is a scrap of wood with some digicode chiseled into it, carved into it, but there's also an arrow pointing towards from where the piece of wood was set, an arrow pointing west, and some markings made to look like a cave.
Okay. I can't read the code, but there's some pictures here and an arrow, and I think the cave is in this direction. They probably all headed that way, so we should go that way too.
Do you see? Is your Digivice here, Chiogo?
Oh, is the Digivice here?
And the Digivice is not here.
Oh, we are gonna have to go get that back.
Okay, go.
Don't worry, Clive. I'll protect you.
It's not me I'm worried about.
In the time while you're in the village, just checking it over and trying to recover, Bullmon, with Zen hopping off your back now, you've spent a while as Bullmon and you're kind of tired, so you revert to Bakumon. And Zen...
Eleanor's gonna scoop him up and just sort of carry him under an arm and be like, you did well. Good job.
And Zen probably sits Chibunamon down again at some point. Hey, Andy, why don't you tell me how Chibunamon digivolves?
Okay, so he just kind of turns into, like, the glowy ball of energy that a lot of Digimon do in their, like, evolving thing, you know, so they don't have to animate what it would actually look like. It'd be terrifying. And then just the entire body just pops out in like one motion behind him, and his head kind of
Oop.
like reshapes slightly.
Yeah, okay. So Inamon has returned to the field, the precious boy.
Yay!
No circuit patterns or any sort of markings on this.
Immediately eats something he shouldn't.
Well, luckily Eleanor got rid of that other shard of metal.
Yeah.
All right, folks, what are we up to?
Guess we're heading
Are
west
we
towards a mystery
rested?
cave.
Are we rested enough to keep going? Zen, how are you feeling? And this is the
If
part
you
where
want
I
to do
talk to
a
myself.
proper rest here, you can use the village to rest. It
Don't
depends if you
know
want to take the
that's
time to rest here.
Don't know if that's a good idea.
I feel like we should probably try and get to the cave.
How is Zen doing? Are we still at 2 wound boxes out of
Yeah, until you guys actually rest, you won't be able to do any recovery.
4? Okay.
You were traveling in environmentally hostile territory, and you only spent about 5-10 minutes in the village looking around, getting this message, talking. It's enough time for Chibinomon to digivolve back to its base state, but you need to spend longer to recover any.
Okay. I think we
I
should
worry.
go.
Yeah. Once we make it to the cave and reconvene with, we can rest there.
Yeah, I agree.
That way, they know we're keep upholding our end of the bargain. We've come back for my Digivice, and then we'll go and clear the cave out for them.
Yes. I agree.
All right, so you guys are setting off to try and find this cave?
You.
I guess so.
Yep.
All right. I'd like 2 of you to be in the front of this. You have a general direction. You don't know explicitly where you are. I'd like 2 of you to go up front, 1 to make a perception check and 1 to make a survival check. And you 2 will be the lead of the pack.
I've been leading us through other stuff, so I guess I'll go for the front.
Eleanor's gonna do the perception.
All right.
This is a survival?
Yep.
Okay. Doop-a-doop.
And Eleanor's perception?
Yeah, just rolling it now.
I will survive.
There you go.
Not ideal.
Thanks to those rule changes I've made, whenever you guys are rolling, I'm always keeping my eyes open for, the eventual 111 or 666, because either of those makes things interesting now.
Interesting for who exactly, Taurus?
Depends which you roll.
That's true. I assume 666 is good, but it also could be horribly evil because you did just roll the devil's number. Miotis
The
mod just appears and
rule
eats
setting I made for it is that if it's 666 on a roll, you guys basically get narrative control for the action to tell me what happens, how well it goes, if something changes or anything like that. And if it's 111, I get to be mean. It's just, a little bit of spice to make things interesting whenever it comes up. Anyway.
Sounds good to me.
Derek, you pretty quickly find footprints leading through the village that head through the snow. Along the coast for a while, but eventually they wind up through this pathway that leads from the coast up some pretty steep cliffs that you're able to follow as well. Eleanor, you're keeping an eye out, but with the amount of shifting that's going on, and is in the far distance, you can still hear ice shifting and cracking as this thing that's down on surface level, you can't see it in the distance, but you can still, it's there, and slowly approaching this side of the Solid State Glacier. But it's kind of occupying you as you are traveling.
Okay, so I don't see much of anything then.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Zen is mostly playing around with her Digivice, I think, now that it's working again and such.
Yeah.
Notable for Zen is that the Digivice was tracking that giant cat-like tiger Digimon that you met before, that Digimon called the Lord of the Glacier. And Zen can still see an icon for it that also appears to be indicating it's on the far side of the glacier.
Huh.
All right.
Zen will remember that.
In this situation, you guys are making a dangerous journey because with the area, the shaking is starting to shift the land, and you guys are having to do a cliff ascension as well. I'd like each of you just to make an athletics check to show me how you're doing.
Okay.
This is going to be fun.
Athletics is body plus athletics.
Ah.
Athletics plus body. Okay.
Was that all of us?
I got a 13.
Oh, shit, Eleanor.
Eleanor doing flips and shit. And yeah, I think that was it. This is everybody, Tess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Zen's
Oh, yeah. I got to roll for
It's a
something.
miserable roll. Thank God for my
3d6 plus-
plus 12.
3d6 plus 6 for Zen.
Shit, Zen.
Hot damn.
Zen's doing fine.
Zen's doing great.
Zen's re-energized.
It's a rough journey for the majority of you guys. Zen's keeping a balance, but the rest of you get shaken around a little. It's not enough to cause any harm or such, but by the time you've followed this path more and found something of it, you're all besides Zen are feeling a little rattled by it. The path also leads to the west, the way the path to the forest did before, but you went south first and then followed it west. It stretches down between kind of like a very slow-forming ravine, 2 hills more, and leads down towards leads down towards where a small river flows down from the higher cliff and pours over the edge as a waterfall, and then carries onwards, stretching down this sloping path. And just near this waterfall, you see a opening entrance into the cliffside, as well as a path that leads all the way there. The footprints as well as the path have led you into this mine entrance, or cave entrance, that might be part of the mines you were told about. You don't see any signs of any Digimon here or any situation. The shaking isn't as intense here as it was closer to the shore, but there's still like shakes under your feet now and again.
Well, we're better off in there than out here. It's not ideal, but what can you do?
Yeah. I mean, we're less likely to freeze to death and we think they're in there, so... Hopefully. The tracks lead in there, right?
Yes.
In we go!
Alright. Following these tracks, you guys group up, and the cave entrance is large enough for like someone double any of your heights, so up to maybe 10 to 12-ish feet tall and about similar-ish wide, but there's no railings or anything, nothing that says there's any like construction here. Nonetheless, as a group, you guys descend into these mines to try and track down the residents of the Snowhearth village. And we'll pick up that with our next session.
Woo! We didn't die again. Against the odds.
All right.
Yeah. I'll stop.
You took a journey. You managed to